Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.
A business expert based in South Korea expects visitor arrivals from that market will remain strong. David Gossick is the head of the U.S. Commercial Service Office, the trade promotion arm of the U.S. Department of Commerce's International Trade Administration.
The numbers have been growing very substantially this year. I think through, I believe it was July, up about 24%. Over last year, so a remarkable increase.
Gossick was the guest speaker at the Guam Visitors Bureau's quarterly meeting. He is currently based at the U.S. Embassy in Seoul, but has also served in Beijing, China, and Jakarta, Indonesia. U.S. commercial service trade professionals like Gossick are stationed at over 100 U.S. cities in 75 countries. Their job is to help American companies with exporting or increasing sales to new global markets. His advice to GVB is to continue to get the message out about Guam.
You know, Korea is a country where word spreads very quickly, and when people report their good experiences here and, you know, the chance to have a great vacation only 4 hours away from Korea, I think that is sort of will fuel increased interest in coming here.
It has been Guam's fastest growing market and the main driver of our record visitor arrivals. In fact, Guam set another new high last month, actually breaking a 20-year mark on the back of a 25% year-on-year increase in Korean tourists. Like most industry observers, Gossick says it is the Korean low-cost carriers that are fueling the rise.
There's been a rapid growth in the number of seats available on flights coming from Korea to Guam over the last couple years, almost entirely from low-cost carriers, adding flights from Seoul and from Busan and now from even the third largest city of Daegu. So that's added a lot of capacity here.
This despite a recent lull in South Korea's overall economy. But Gossick says the country is back on the upswing, driven by a resurgence in exports of electronic components.
Yeah, it's interesting. Over the last couple of years, the economy has been fairly flat. Growth has been about 2.5%, you know, which is below the kind of historic level in Korea. But this year, things have been picking up. Just 2 weeks ago, the government increased its estimate for growth this year to about 3%. So economy is picking up a bit this year. I don't know what direct impact that's going to have on tourism, but that's obviously a good thing for consumers in Korea.
Meanwhile, GVB President and CEO Nate DeKnight says the local tourism industry suffered little to nothing from the recent North Korean missile threat. Officials made it a point to tamp down concerns that Guam was in danger and encouraged visitors to keep coming, which they did.
And we're up about 5% for the month. So last August was a record month. Of course, August is the busiest month of the year, so we're looking at probably having a record August arrivals-wise. So we're good in the short term, but that being said, we have to really monitor. Tourism is always can be very fragile, and any sort of negative news can impact people's decision on where to travel in the future. So we need to be out there. We need to be getting the information out that Guam is safe, and there's no problem here.
And all the attention Guam received during the missile threat may have been the silver lining. National and international media provided hours of coverage, and millions of viewers from around the world got to know and see a lot more of the island.
People are learning about Guam as a tourist destination, about how important it is to the island, and just how beautiful the island is. I think we've seen a lot of stories that have covered our tourism industry, and then all the beautiful scenery that Guam has to offer and all the other things that the island has to offer. So we're trying to do that at the Bureau, is reassure everyone that Guam is safe. But on the flip side, a lot of the reporters that we've talked to, and I'm sure you've heard the same thing, is want to come back for a vacation, or they want to come back and not have to work and enjoy the beautiful beaches and the shopping and the hospitality and the good food that Guam has to offer.
For KUM's Business Matters, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.